Welcome to Movie Recap. In today's video, we will be going through the 2019 horror mystery movie, Eli. Turn on subtitles and spoilers ahead. 11-year-old Eli Miller is traveling with his parents headed to a scheduled medical facility. Eli suffers from a rare autoimmune disease, rendering him extremely vulnerable to the outside world. Unable to breathe the air, Eli spends his life in a sterile bubble and walks around wearing an airtight hazmat suit. His parents, Rose and Paul, seek the help of Dr. Horn and bring Eli to her private medical institution, an old mansion that's been converted into a sterile facility. Rose and Paul believe that Dr. Horn is their last hope to help Eli heal from his condition. Eli arrives at his room and finally gets to take off his hazmat suit. Eli and Rose are overjoyed, being able to hold each other for the first time in years. At night, Eli hears strange noises and whispers and has an unusual encounter with a missed window, but gets dismissed by the following morning by the adults when he informs them. They begin the first stage of the procedure, heading into an operation room, and the nurses strap Eli to an operating table. Dr. Horn informs him that she'll be injecting a modified virus to reset his immune system. Eli slowly falls unconscious as Dr. Horn operates. He gains consciousness and is in terrible pain. He asks to be let go, but Dr. Horn tells him that the pain is a sign of the procedure is working. Eli screams from the pain and his skin blisters. He writhes in pain, trying to free himself from the bonds before passing out again. Later in his room, Eli hears sounds coming from his window again. He approaches it, but instead of the mist, he sees a girl outside throwing rocks. The girl gestures Eli to come follow her. Eli then explores the house looking for a way to get closer to the girl and finds a room with a huge glass window. He finds the girl, Haley, on the other side of the window, and she tells him that she's seen other kids in the facility before. Eli tries to impress her with a magic card trick, but Haley shows off a trick of her own by setting a twig on fire. Eli invites her inside, but she refuses, saying that the house feels airy and she's not welcome inside. On his way back to his room, Eli sees a sealed room with lots of furniture covered with cloth. He shines a flashlight in and sees a ghostly girl appear. Eli starts running, but as he shines the flashlight, the ghost gets closer and closer. Eli trips and sees a shadow closing in on him behind a curtain. The curtain opens, but it's Paul who appears. Later, while Eli lays in the bed, he feels a sudden chill and hears whispering. He looks around and sees a silhouette behind a curtain, but no one is there. He tries communicating via the mist on the window and fogs it up with his breath and writes his name. Eli is surprised to see the ghost writing back. It erases his name and writes lie instead. Eli steps back and sees from a mirror a girl standing by the window writing with her finger. But when he checks, there's no one there. Eli tries to calm himself down, but a ghost appears in front of him. He tries to crawl away, but the ghost grabs him. He starts shouting, but it's actually Paul who's grabbing him, trying to wake him up. Dr. Horn, Rose, and Paul discuss what's happening to Eli. Horn tells them that this is all the result of the medication. The medication they placed him under is strong and warns Eli's condition could worsen before he starts healing. Next day is time for Eli's second procedure, and the nurses strap him to a table again. Dr. Horn injects him with a solution and Eli immediately starts writhing in pain. He tells him that it's burning him, but Dr. Horn says that it's supposed to burn him. As the medicine takes its effect, they take a drill and start drilling into Eli's skull. Outside, Horn informs Paul and Rose that Eli is having an adverse reaction to the procedure. At dinner, Eli tells his parents that he wants to leave because he feels like his condition is getting worse and now that he feels even more sick. Paul gets angry and tells him that the procedure is working and that they should stay. Eli returns to his bedroom and hears more noises. In his bathroom, he sees a shadow walking behind the shower curtain and later sees someone standing behind him in the mirror. A hand reaches out for Eli and he sprints for the door, but it's locked. He calls to his parents, begging to be let out, and sees a ghost slowly walking towards him. With nowhere left to go, Eli hides in the wardrobe closet. The ghost starts pounding and scratching on the door, and Eli keeps screaming. The pounding stops, and Eli steps out to see the ghost has etched into his wardrobe with the word lie over and over. His parents and Dr. Horn runs in and they see a mess in Eli's room. They confront him and Eli tells them that what's happening, but they don't believe him, citing that the side effects of this might have caused Eli's hallucination. Later, Haley shows up again and she tells Eli that a previous patient, Perry, came before him, and she also mentions about seeing ghosts in the house. She also tells him that when it came time for the third procedure, she never saw him ever again. Before they could finish talking, Eli hears strange noises again and again, and he goes to investigate. He checks the hallway when an unseen force tries to grab him. Eli starts running, but it starts getting dragged away. From the reflection, he sees the ghost dragging him. They finally dump him at the house's front door. Knowing that he'll start burning and blistering once again, he gets into contact with the air outside. Eli begs the ghost to stop, but the door opens. Eli tries to hold his breath, and the doctors and his patients come to the rescue. They try to subdue Eli, but he tells them that he knows about Perry. Rose tries to calm Eli down, but an angry Eli answers back and accidentally slams his hand through the glass, wounding himself. Eli faints and wakes up back in his room. Back in his room, Eli sees the scratches the ghost made is not the word lie, but may actually be an upside down 317. Eli meets with Haley again and tells her that he thinks that the ghosts aren't trying to hurt him, but are actually trying to help him escape. And 317? They've been writing maybe a code to a door or somewhere. Later at that night, Eli tries to sneak into a locked part of the house and successfully gets in by using the code. He finds his way into the office and looks for records of previous patients. He sees mists on the door and hears whispers, guiding him to a file drawer. He sees files for the other patients and he sees that all of them have died on the third procedure. Eli runs from the office to his parents, trying to tell him about what had happened to the last patients, but only finds his father. Paul talks to Eli and tries to apologize to him, but as he hugs him, he injects Eli with a serum. The nurses rush in and drag Eli to the operating room. Eli breaks free and locks himself in Dr. Horn's study. There, he discovers that Horn is actually a nun. He also finds a secret passage that leads underground. He finds a room with a circular tomb surrounded by an altar with a cross and a dagger. The adults catch up and trap him in the underground chamber. Eli demands to be let back in, but Horn says that they have to leave him in the basement. Everyone leaves and Eli passes out. A few minutes later, Eli wakes up and finds himself breathing normally. He calls for his mother and she comes back down. In the basement, Rose tries to apologize to Eli and tells him that they're all trying to help and promise to explain everything once the final procedure is completed. Eli slumps down, pretending to fall unconscious, and Rose runs in to the help. She slips away and runs up past the operating room and into the room with the huge windows where he sees Haley waiting for him. She tells him that he has to be brave and that he mustn't be scared, as it's Horns and others who are scared of him. He tries breaking open the window, but Paul comes in and drags him away. In the basement, Rose opens the tomb and sees all the past patients dead and buried. She finally realizes that none of Horn's patients have been healed and all of them have ended up dead. Paul helps the nurse restrain Eli, but Rose shows up with a dagger and holds everyone at knife point. Horn says that she can still save him, but Rose is determined to escape with Eli. Paul overpowers Rose and holds her back as Horn begins the procedure. Eli watches Dr. Horn reach not for the surgery equipment, but for the Bible and holy water. Eli is confused, but is still trying to get himself free. Dr. Horn starts by chanting the Lord's Prayer and asking Saint Michael to help Eli. She takes holy water and blesses Eli. She is performing an exorcism. Eli's skin burns and sizzles when the holy water touches him, and with his screams the lights flicker and sparks fly. Horns take the dagger and prepare to stab Eli in the heart. She brings down the dagger, but it stops millimeters from his heart. She tries to fight, but it seems like Eli is in control of her hand, and now he makes Horn stab herself in the heart. The nurses panic and try to run for the door, but Eli stops them. Eli restrains burn off, and he stands and makes Horn and the nurses levitate. He turns to Rose and demands to know what's happened to him. Rose finally confesses the truth and tells Eli that she's tried to have a son, but nothing happened. Only when she prayed to the devil was she finally granted a baby. Paul runs up behind Eli, dagger in his hand. but Eli turns and makes his Paul's face implode. Eli is the son of the devil. Eli embraces his newfound powers and identity and heads outside. Haley meets him at the door and reveals to him that she, along with the previous patients, are half-siblings. They're all spawns of the devil. Haley offers to take Eli to the father, and Rose appears behind them. Rose offers Eli a coat, telling him that it's cold outside. Haley and Eli get into a car and orders Rose to drive them. A distraught Rose gets in and starts panicking, but Eli tells her to breathe and calm down. They share a smile and drive away. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new movie recaps.